Welcome back to Positively Port St. Lucie. I'm Sarah Prohaska here at the City of Port St. Lucie. In our next segment, we want to talk about a really fun program that's happening right now in the City of Port St. Lucie. If you have your house all decorated for the holiday season, make sure you add it to our PSLinLights map and our whole PSLinLights campaign. And to talk about that, we have the winner of our PSLinLights 2017 contest with us today, Yvonne Dubas.
Yes, correct, yay.
And Kim Cook, also my coworker here at the Communications Department, who is leading our PSLinLights project this year, is here to help us also learn a little bit more about how to get involved. So Kim, tell us about what. So PSLinLights is a map, right?
Yes.
What are we asking people to do?
It is an interactive map where you can upload your photos of your house in the fabulous display. Mm-hmm. You add a couple of new pieces of information this time. It's obviously when your lights are on, but we also added a little portion called What Inspired You.
Yes, I love this.
And it's been really cool to see what has inspired a lot of people. But yeah, right now we have 46 submissions, and it keeps growing.
Yes.
I love it.
We had about 50 last year at the end of it.
At the end of it. So we're doing a lot better this year.
Yeah, we're about halfway to, it ends on December 31st, right?
January 1st is the last day.
Okay.
Then January 2nd to January 6th is the voting takes place.
Okay.
January 7th, the numbers are tallied, and the winner will be announced on social media and the website.
Yeah, so anyone who enters, who puts their house on our map, gets automatically entered into our PSLinLights contest.
Correct.
And then once we get all the lights up, we have that period of voting, like you said, to make it fair for all the homes. And then we'll crown a winner, and it just may be, I know your house is going to give everyone a run for their money again this year.
Yes, we have doubled.
How many lights do you have up this year?
We have over 40,000 lights on the house, on the ground
goodness.
And everything, between everything.
A lot of
From last year, it is way brighter than last year's.
Wow. And last year was pretty good. And
yes.
You had by far the most votes last year.
Yeah.
Tell us the address again.
460 Southwest Rad Court.
Okay.
It's right off of Becker Road in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
And the display is rad.
Yeah, it is rad, and that's what we've been calling it, the Rad House, and it is amazing.
It's very cool.
My son has done an amazing job. It takes us 2 months to start to finish, and some days we're really not finished because we just keep adding a little bit more and more here or there.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop once you get started.
It is.
Yeah.
And you've seen it, and it just seems like there's no place else to put lights anywhere. So the roof might be next again.
And it's your son Travis really helps and helps you get this done.
He's the backbone of it all.
Yeah. All right.
He's like the lighting engineer. He will make it happen. If it's going to be able to do it, he makes Mama happy and gets it done.
Oh, so Kim mentioned it. One thing that we're asking everyone who puts their house on the map this year is what inspired you, what inspired your display. And I just love reading these stories because some of these houses I probably wouldn't have not wanted to visit, but they may have been in an area of the city that would have been hard for me to get to. Now I really want to go see them because I know the story behind it.
The message. Yeah, there was one that sticks out for me is their inspiration was their loved one had passed on. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to light it up really bright so he could see that from heaven.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah. And there was another one I read where they were doing, it was for their child who was in the military or he was coming home this year, or there was something about the military. I thought, oh my gosh, I really want to kind of go see that one. So Yvonne, what inspires you guys?
Just the love of Christmas and the whole family gatherings that's when everybody is together, and it's just like we just light it up. My daughter and her husband also helped with some of it. My son's girlfriend too, Shannon, but it was just, it brought the whole family together. And I mean, the community itself is, I'm meeting neighbors that I have never met before. They're like, oh my God, look what you've done.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really awesome.
And it is just the love of Christmas. And when kids were younger, you didn't have time to really do it. And now that they're older, my son is more the one who let's decorate, and we just keep adding and adding.
Yeah.
So it's just love.
You mentioned something about neighborhoods and how you're meeting neighbors. So this year, we have a program in the city called our NICE program, which is our Neighborhood Improvement and Community Engagement Program. It's a brand new program we started this year, and it's to kind of help develop neighborhood identities. And the NICE program this year did donate a prize. So because we do want to kind of use this to promote neighborhood cohesion and neighborhood connectedness and getting to know your neighbors and forming stronger neighborhoods. So, and holiday lights are a really good way to do that.
It is.
So maybe if you win again, or whoever wins, the winner will get their yard sign, which you have, I hope. You have it in your yard?
I do. I have it in there. Yes,
Yes,
it is. Right front and center.
Okay.
First thing I saw.
So they'll get a yard sign for 2018 along with a special gift from our NICE program. So we're trying to keep building this bigger and better every year. So definitely gear up your voting community on that first week in January.
Next year, it looks like we're going to have a little friendly neighborhood competition and see whose neighborhood is the brightest. Maybe?
And we'll definitely get the neighbors in.
Yeah.
Like I said, there are some neighbors that were just like, oh, no, can't compete. And I'm like, it's not just put them up. Let's go. We're willing to help anybody.
Yeah.
As a
Join
neighbor.
forces.
Yeah, we would join forces for sure. We don't want to be the only one lit.
Yeah.
But right now we seem to be.
On your street. Yeah.
Yes.
But I am impressed. The thing about Port St. Lucie is it's so spread out. We're a very big city land-wise. So this map really does help, I think, find them, because there may be a really good one on this street, and then 3 streets over is another really good one, but you might not have ever known about that one. So the map really does, I think, help.
It does.
And you get that preview of what you're going to see, and is it worth the ride out there?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and it was. I've had somebody Facebook me that they had seen it, and they were like, well, where are you at? And I'm like, okay, because we do have the Dubas Family Lights in Facebook.
Okay.
So and then from there, and I'm like, well, just go on to PSLinLights, and you'll see the map, and you can see where it's at and stuff. And they were like, oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
So they do know that the lights, the map is out there, and they're like, okay, we've seen it on the map, and that's where we had to come by. And I've had a lot of people coming as we're out there in the night trying to make sure everything's working. That they're like, we seen you on the map, and I'm like, oh, sweet.
Oh, good.
And I love it. I mean,
that makes us
not
happy.
able to do the tour. At least the map is there that helps.
Yes.
And it does.
Exactly.
So the bus tour is another thing that we kind of want to talk about, but unfortunately,
it is full.
It's full.
Filled up within like 45 minutes.
Yes, it was really, and we do want to give a shout out to St. Lucie Community Transit,
absolutely.
the Treasure Coast Connector, because
second year that they've donated 2 buses for us.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
So we were able to work with them to add an extra night. So the timing is a little bit more varied for this year.
Yeah.
But it filled up really fast.
It did. And it was hard to turn everyone away, but unfortunately there's just only so many seats.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we have a waiting list. It's a very long 200-person waiting list.
Wow.
Yeah. So the one thing we're going to be asking people this year is because it's all free, that their community transit does it all for free. They give us their drivers overtime at no cost to the city. So in order to maybe have more nights and extra buses, if people are willing to pay a little fee for it. And so that's one thing we're if you want to give us your feedback, you can email us at media@city.psl.com and let us know if, we want to hear from residents. And we're going to be asking people on the bus tours that night if next year maybe a small fee they'd be willing to pay, so we can have more nights, more options.
I know. I would pay.
We've got one.
I definitely would.
Yeah, we've heard. I put the question out there on Facebook, and we've gotten a few responses back, but it's all yes, we'd be willing to pay a little bit of money for this. So we like to keep it free, but there's such a demand. We hate turning away people. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And you make a lot of friends on the bus.
Oh yeah. Definitely,
it was really
you
fun.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm making friends with people driving by my house, and I'm like, okay.
So that's one thing we're looking at for next year, and definitely the contest we want to keep going, and we really appreciate residents like you who really take pride in your home and your
Absolutely.
community and your neighborhood, and you really put the time to make this such a joyful time for people in Port St. Lucie.
Yes.
So-
I mean, you got to. We're all one community.
Yeah.
I don't care wherever you live from here. You're my neighbor no matter what.
Yeah.
It's still amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like she said, this is the time of year where you actually take that moment to gather with your family, spend some time, because life gets busy.
It's too busy sometimes.
Yeah.
I know on Thanksgiving when we were out there, we had families that were walking around the neighborhood, just coming in herds. And I was like 15 to 20 people at a time. And we were like, where are you all coming from? They're like, oh, we're over here at Thanksgiving. We had to come see it. And I'm like, okay.
my
That's awesome.
You know, we weren't
Yeah.
even completely finished yet.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, just keep looking. Every day is something different.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So, the family. And I'm noticing a lot more families that are coming by, they'll drive by and all of a sudden they're like, okay,
Yeah.
they bring in everybody.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah. And we have a house like that. In my neighborhood, I live in South Bend, and there's one in particular in South Bend that everyone knows about, and they're already driving up and down this cul-de-sac. He turned them on a couple nights ago, and I was driving with my kids in there. Just last night, there was 3 other cars behind me, so I'm sure that's exactly
Yep.
what your house is like.
Yep.
People know, and then they tell their friends, and that's what it's all about. So.
And if you're spending that much time putting up those lights and creating this wonderful
Yeah,
display, I
let's
can't
share
imagine
it.
you not
We
wanting to
want-
share that.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, there are those people that do not want that attention. And part of the contest, we have that question: do you want to be considered for the tour? So for those that don't want to be considered on the bus tour,
Right.
they can still send in their picture,
Right.
And be in the contest.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have to wait until afterwards.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Send it in now. That way more people can enjoy it. And
Absolutely.
if you mark no, you don't want to be on the bus tour, you will not be on the bus tour. So.
Right. Right. And when you do the bus tour, you don't have that scheduled down until the finish, right? Until right before.
We're working on it right now.
Just so
Yeah.
that's what I figured.
It is,
And
yeah.
Got to figure out where everyone's going to be.
And it's
Exactly,
tricky.
yeah.
It's tricky. Unfortunately, all the houses on the map cannot be featured on the bus tour.
I
It's-
wish.
Yeah, we
But it would take
wish.
us like 4 hours.
Unless you're on a 4-hour bus tour, yeah. So we really have to, Kim works on it, and she really tries to figure out where the biggest clusters of homes are, most bang for your buck.
Yeah, I want
Exactly.
the residents to be able to see as many houses
Right.
as they possibly
Right,
can
that's
within that
understandable.
45 minutes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You don't want to spend half the time driving and seeing nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
To get
That's
to
what
the
we're
one
trying to
house.
avoid.
Yeah.
And,
So.
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you guys so much. Again, Kim, tell us the voting dates again.
You can upload your photo up till January 1st. The voting takes place January 2nd to January 6th. The winner will be announced January 7th.
All right. And then at a future date, we will present the sign and the gift at a city council meeting.
Yes.
So that's always a fun thing for us.
I
to
don't
look
know
forward
about
to.
you. Did you enjoy
Yeah.
that?
I did. It was
Good.
exciting. We were screaming when we got the email and stuff, and it said that we were the winners. We were like, "Oh my gosh!" We didn't think we were that bright last year. I'm like, "Wow." So yeah,
all
we were competing against ourselves again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
It's the best competition.
Yes.
All right. Friendliest, right?
Yes, it is friendly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming on. We really appreciate it. It's
Sarah.
always fun this time of year here because of PSLinLights. So
It is.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. And thank you all for listening and watching this edition of Positively Port St. Lucie. And we'll see you in the new year.